Welcome to the November 6, 2025 Parma City School District Board of Education Special Work Session. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please, Mr. Nucio.
Ms. Gohar.
Present.
Ms. Kruger.
Here. She went to the restroom.
Okay.
She's coming.
Mrs. McTaggart.
Present.
Mr. Ruda.
Present.
Mr. Vaughn.
Present. Unless there is an objection, we will dispense with this reading of the special meeting notice. As a reminder, work sessions are held by the Board of Education to provide its members an opportunity to discuss matters. Committee members are welcome and encouraged to attend. However, they are not permitted to participate unless the board specifically asks for input. I move to adopt Resolution 2025-11-490, approval of the written record of proceedings from the November 6, October 23rd, 2025 regular Board of Education meeting.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt Resolution 2025-11-490. Any questions or comments from the board? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Mr. Vaughn.
Yes.
Mr. Ruda.
Yes.
Ms. Cohart.
Yes.
Ms. Kerbick.
Yes.
Ms. McTaggart.
Yes.
All right, resolution 2025-11-490 has been approved. This brings us to discussion. Dr. Hunt, the performance auditors reports presentation.
Good evening, everyone.
You're on.
Okay, so we do have food for you. I think it's in the conference room. So if you feel free to get up and grab food if you want it now. My apologies, or maybe we can just get it hauled over here for you. I don't know. All right.
Wasn't here for the Idiot Center for Pledge of Allegiance.
6 p.m.
6 p.m.
What time?
For 6 p.m.
6 p.m.? Okay.
Yeah.
Then we talked 5:30. Okay.
No, you're fine.
All right, you're good. Thanks.
Yeah.
So you're more welcome to sit in here if you like and wait.
Okay.
No, I know. I got to get to my presentation. Know where I went. Give me a second, please.
I'll sit in my seat. It's hot.
It's cold in the shop. It's cold today.
Technology is wonderful until it doesn't work.
No, this is me just trying to get logged back in. Maybe. Wow. Okay. So, going to talk a little bit about the transition plan and audit that I engaged with a group of consultants called Burns Van Fleet. So I'm going to talk a little bit about, I've pulled their words out, but you'll see they call this a transition plan. They offer transition services for new superintendents in new situations, as well as conducting an audit of a variety of different areas in the district, which I asked them to do. So we're going to talk a little bit about staffing, special ed and alternative programs, enrollment, benefits, and some miscellaneous items that they are recommending. I'll share their conclusion, which is in the report that you have. And then I hope at the end we can talk a little bit about gathering some of your feedback, some input. This will be kind of a first iteration of a discussion, given that we know that we did not get through issue 49, and we're going to have to talk real deeply, strategically, and thoughtfully about what our plan will be moving into the future. So, again, I pulled these words right from their report. Normally, a transition report analyzes all aspects of a school district, but in the case of Parma City Schools, Superintendent Hunt has already addressed numerous pressing issues. Therefore, he requested the consultants from Burns Van Fleet to investigate and make recommendations in the following 5 areas, which I just outlined: staffing, special ed, alternative ed, enrollment, benefits, and central office. So I do want to say a couple things about the report up front. I reached out to this group through the ESC, or they were put in contact with me through the ESC. So this was not a general fund expenditure. We used funds through the ESC of Northeast Ohio to engage with the group so that they can provide the report to us. Part of this discussion that I had with them was, when you are doing the audit, we're also looking for cost savings. How can we find some cost savings? So you're going to see when I talk through this, in their report, they provide recommendations. I'm not calling them recommendations, I'm going to call them considerations, because this is not necessarily a final plan for us when we look at this. There'll be more to discuss as we move forward. This report also was not part of any kind of 5-year forecasting, nor was it meant to be part of a 5-year forecast. And certainly this wasn't something to talk about in terms of how this offsets a levy ask. But now that we're in this position, or remain in the position, this will become part of the bigger planning discussion when we head into the late winter and early spring, when we talk about what it is we need to adjust, okay? So, again, I'm going to talk about these in terms of considerations. because there are implications anytime you do something around staffing. And I'll talk about some of that at the end, okay? So one of the recommendations or consideration for us is to freeze positions. And basically what this means is that we would just say we're not hiring right now. We're going to put a freeze on hiring. And they are suggesting there are potential cost savings for us between $300,000 and $700,000. Again, depending upon what that looks like for us, depends on what those cost savings could be. You'll notice the next one I have in green is to employ new teachers and no step higher than 3. Now, I put it in green because this is actually a practice we try to adhere to. Now, we're not always able to live by this because some positions are high needs, hard to attract, and sometimes we have to go above that step 3. So their rationale is when secondary teachers in short supply in many fields, there are numerous excellent elementary teachers, limited experience, new hires bring in the latest thinking on instruction. So of course, that also comes with a cost savings for us if we can keep it at step 3 or less. So this is something that we are doing now to the best of our ability. Their potential cost savings is $100,000. Considerations around staffing. Again, this is their recommendation. A consideration for us to discuss is to decentralize and reduce staffing, which would come up with, in their estimation, a potential cost savings about $1.2 million. Now, here's their rationale, and I'm going to tell you this is not my rationale or my approach with this. Instead of central office, their recommendation, instead of a central office personnel determining specific assignments at the schools, give principals a total number of allocated staff, let them decide, reduce all schools with enrollment under 800 students by 1 certified position, reduce all schools with an enrollment above 800 students by 2 certified positions. So I can tell you that when we talk about staffing here as we head into the fall, that is all going to run through senior leadership. We are going to do the analysis on each building, each staff member, each license, so that we can make sure that we are providing our students with what they need in terms of staffing classrooms. So when you talk about something like this, and we will talk more about this, my example always is if I have 100 kids in grade 4, I don't need 5 people, I need 4 people, the ratio would be 25 to 1. We don't necessarily have any set ratios in the district for class sizes, but typically that's a typical ratio, 25 to 1. Now that doesn't mean everyone has 25 to 1, it just depends on, if I have 105 kids, somebody else is going to get a little bit more in their classroom. So when we talk about staffing, we are going to do it very systematically by building, by staff member, by license, and enrollment. We'll also be looking very strongly at enrollment. The other recommendation, our consideration, is to reduce counselors and clerical staff at both high school facilities. Again, a potential cost savings of $400,000. This task can be performed by a school administrator. Again, this is something we'll be looking at as well in terms of staffing. So what does that mean? That means we're going to look at those ratios again. Here's the example that I've given. When I was a principal, I had 600 students, principal, a counselor, and 2 office staff, secretary and a receptionist. Now, of course, I could argue with 600 students, I should have an assistant, but I didn't have an assistant. So my ratio is probably a little high, but if you apply that number, that ratio to what we have in terms of enrollment in our buildings, that should suggest to us we can do some shuffling or reducing in terms of front office staff in those buildings. And again, we'll have greater, deeper discussion as we move into the winter and into the spring. Consideration for staffing is to eliminate test coordinator positions. Again, tasks can be performed by a school administrator and a potential cost savings of $400,000. So what I tried to do with this is I was thinking through what this looks like, the plan, a potential plan for any of these items is, there's always implementation and there's always a timeline, and we have to, again, be thoughtful and strategic about what that timeline is. So Again, this isn't a solid plan here, but this is something that we should consider looking at. If we had an immediate time frame, we could enact a hiring freeze, superintendent approval required for any new hiring that comes in. This would be kind of short-term cost control. Over 3 to 6 months, we continue to review our vacancies and staffing levels and make sure they're aligned. And then the next hiring cycle, over 6 to 12 months, we'd make sure that we are focused on hiring elementary staff at step 3 or less. That will create that sustainable cost savings we discussed in that first slide. And then ongoing, we'd make sure that we monitor this and report that staffing data back. So a potential timeline for dealing with staffing. All right, let's move on to enrollment. So one of the considerations or recommendation from the group, but a consideration for us, is to admit at least 40 more students into our first step program. And you'll notice on this slide that it doesn't say cost savings, but it says net additional revenue because there will be a cost to participate in first step. So the rationale is at least 3 or 4 classrooms that could potentially be available. We would allow more students to be better prepared for kindergarten. So we could generate some revenue by adding additional students here. Again, a potential timeline for us in the short term over August through September is to make sure that we have the classrooms available, that we make sure the facilities are ready, that we're prepped and we've recruited and hired teachers where we need them, or that we've been able to shuffle teachers into those positions from current staffing levels. And then August and ongoing to make sure that we're admitting at least 40 additional students into that program. Special education and alternative education. So considerations here is to create 2 more ACES classrooms, potential cost savings net of almost $750,000. And the rationale is to create the classrooms, reduce tuition payments. Basically, we would keep those students here instead of seeking to send them out. That's where our savings would come from. And then the other consideration is to develop an alternative program for students who need it, potential cost savings of $100,000. And again, you'll see their rationale. I have this at Parma Park. We've not committed to any solid plan about where these things might be, but these are the discussions we need to have. We developed a program to meet student needs, reduce students leaving our district. Currently, we lose a significant number of students to Old Brook. This program could be for students with or without IEPs. We would need a central office administrator assigned for the purpose of designing the program and then for oversight again. So these are recommendations from their report, things that we're considering and discussing. Potential timeline for the ACES classrooms, begin planning this year. Design what that looks like as we hit the late winter and early spring. Make sure we're prepared with spaces as well as teachers, and we launch the program. Same with the alternative program. November, same timeline. November, February to begin planning, to talk about the design of the program, preparation, hiring, and making sure we have administrators and staff in place for that program. Considerations under benefits, and you may have heard Sean talk about this or me talk about this at other meetings. Their recommendation is to join an existing consortium for potential cost savings in healthcare benefits. Right now, we had an 18% increase, which is alarming, and so we have to take a new approach. So we've already been engaged in some discussion. This is why this is green, with the Great Lakes COG and investigating others. But we are already having the discussion here, and likely we'll move to a consortium model in the future, potentially in July. The umbrella and stop loss coverage falls in line with our healthcare benefits. And Sean, I know, has talked about the stop loss coverage. We get some dollars back from our provider in stop loss for when we pay out on experience. And again, a timeline for you, and I've just shared, this is a discussion we're having now. So we are likely going to end up in a COG at some point here, and potentially that could be as we hit the summertime. Miscellaneous, the district should consider partnering with an energy savings company. We actually, I think, had a discussion today at our business committee meeting about a company that we're working with to look at energy savings, cost savings that would go right back into the district that we could utilize for utilities or other permanent improvement experiences that we need to take care of here. Potential cost savings, $250,000, and obviously we know, because we're working with a couple right now to do the audit of those spaces of our utilities, that they'll retrofit, with lighting, or they'll provide us with opportunities for replacing boilers, chillers, HVAC, and other items that impact our utility bills. So potential timeline, again, this is something we're also working on now. August, October, the planning pieces, so we are in planning phase right now, evaluating proposals and selecting a company. We're already working with a couple that are providing some audit information for us. And then, of course, we'd be implementing February through June if we are able to work with a company, especially if we're able to engage in some grant funding, which has been part of the discussion as well. So we continue to monitor this, use the energy savings and efficiencies to, again, give back to the district to use those dollars to pay for other projects. And I want to talk just a little bit about unintended consequences. And this is why I want to make sure that as we talk about this as a board moving forward, and with a new board coming on, that we are thoughtful and strategic about how we address any of these things. And this is just part of the discussion. So there will probably be many other things that we're going to put on the table here to talk about when we talk about cost savings. So things that we just need to keep in mind. We have collective bargaining agreements. And anytime we talk about staffing, reducing staffing, there's potentially an unintended consequence. We've got to make sure that we're not violating the contract. We also have seniority in place. So when we talk about staffing, it's not just as easy as saying we need to eliminate 25 positions. We have to be thoughtful and strategic about how we do that. We also have to think kids first, and whatever we do, we know it's going to impact our classrooms, and we need to be thoughtful and strategic about that. We know that reducing staff, especially in the classroom, we're going to end up with larger class sizes, potentially lowers the instructional quality and our student outcomes. And we're on a good pathway and a good trajectory currently with our 4-star report card, and so we'll need to be thoughtful and strategic about what the setup looks like moving forward in the future, especially when we talk around the staffing piece. And of course, staff morale, community response, financial risk, all of those things are potentially unintended consequences. And as we talked about this at senior leadership, we know we want to remain focused on making sure our students and families get what they need, and again, that we're strategic and thoughtful about the process we go through to get there. There's a lot of heavy lifting to go with this. This is not just a drop it today and we get a cost savings and we have everything that we need to have. So there'll be some very lengthy discussions about what this looks like as we head into the spring. And so this is from Burns Van Fleet. Obviously, there are a great many recommendations. Most would need planning time. Others may not be feasible. Nonetheless, there's a great deal of savings that are possible. It should be noted, however, that all recommendations were implemented. A new operating levy is still needed. This will not overcome our deficit. It will help, potentially, but it won't help us overcome the deficit. So I'm going to stop there. I did a lot of talking. You may have questions. You may want to provide some feedback or input. And if you don't, we're going to revisit this, because this is going to be part of the planning process as we head into the future.
So my big question was, when do you think you might start this process? When would
Right
you
now,
begin?
we're starting.
You're starting right
Yeah.
now.
So, you know, obviously with not passing issue 49, we know that we're going to have to do something, right? Our forecast has us good for this year. Our days of cash, we're still above, but when we hit 27, that's what we have to be ready for. So,
Or are you going to feel the effects of this process? Are they going to feel the effects now, or are they going to feel that later?
no, I think this is where the thoughtful and strategic piece comes in. You know, if we can recoup some savings right now, we will do it, but, you know, 83% of our budget is around staffing, and staffing impacts our program, so we just have to be thoughtful about what it is we want to modify here to get the savings we'll need to have. So there'll definitely be an impact, but I would tell you that's impact is going to hit us in the fall.
Okay. Yeah. Anybody else?
Not really.
Okay, thank you. We will revisit this, so we're going to come back to this, and there'll be some additional planning moving forward around all these items, and probably more.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. That's all I have, and I know you might be hungry, and there is food in the lounge for you.
All right. So, I move to adopt resolution 2025-11-491 to adjourn this meeting.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt resolution 2025-11-491. Roll call, please.
Mr. Vaughn.
Yes.
Mr. Ruda.
Yes.
Ms. Cohart.
Yes.
Ms. Herbert. Ms. Taggart.
Yes.
Meeting's adjourned. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
See you in Oh, who do we have? In Pleasant Valley today. Come on in. How are you?
Face them
Okay, so
away.
if they can come, they can line up right up
Oh,
front
okay.
here.
Come on.
Yeah, you got a
Thank
big
you,
crew.
thank you.
You make 2 lines if you want, it's a big crew. Look at the safety patrol, I love it.
This is only a fourth of us.
Only a
isn't
fourth
it?
of them.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for coming. You gonna start the pledge for us?
Okay, hands on your hearts. Ready? I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Hey, guys, thank you. Thank you, thank you. Air fives. Air fives. Let's go come by and get one. Air fives. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Go ahead.
No, you want to stay.
You gonna stay? Yeah.
They're just gonna
You can
stand,
Stay right
yeah.
there, that'd be great.
Nice
All
work.
right, Dr. Hunt, can you please confirm this meeting is being live streamed?
It is.
Can you please monitor our live streaming throughout the meeting? If there is any problem, please speak up immediately so that the technical difficulty can be addressed.
I will.
Okay, so before we move on with the meeting, and they're all gonna leave on me here, first I want to really thank the residents of our 3 communities who took the time to vote this past Tuesday. Although the results were not in our favor as a school district, I respect the process, and after all, it is what makes the United States the greatest country in the world. I also wanted to express my sincere gratitude to the dedicated members of the Levy Committee. These individuals volunteered their time to organize the campaign, distribute literature, and staff the polls. Thank you so much for your commitment and hard work. I know you share the disappointment in the outcome. What I can say with certainty is that the staff of the Parma City School District will continue to provide our students with academic excellence, outstanding academic opportunities, They will also ensure that our buildings remain clean, safe, warm, and dry so that learning can take place with the best possible environment. Finally, I'd like to thank everyone who plays a part in educating our students. Not to be cliche, but it's truly worth repeating. We are all in this together. So, thank you. Thank you very much. And that brings us, I'm gonna,
We didn't roll call.
I didn't roll call. I didn't roll call.
No, you did
Sergeant
not.
Myers. Can we roll call, please? I was so excited about my speech.
Ms. Cohar.
Present.
Ms. Gerber.
Present.
Ms. McTaggart.
Present.
Mr. Ruda.
Present.
Mr. Vaughn.
Present. Now, I motion to amend the agenda to add a resolution prior to the executive session to only allow current active board members in executive session with board counsel.
Second.
It has been moved and second to amend the agenda to add a resolution to only allow current active board members in executive session with board counsel. Any discussions?
I do.
Right before this, you did some. I
Sorry.
was gonna call it 2025-11-507.1 would be the resolution that you're gonna vote on.
Okay, well, yeah, we would have to vote on it after
We have to
this
vote on
discussion.
it prior to go into executive session. I want to make that clear.
Correct.
Before you have your discussion.
Correct, so discussion. Ms. McTaggart, you had some?
I disagree, only because our policy does state that board members-elect would be allowed and invited to every meeting, including executive sessions. And so the email traffic that we had prior, we had discussed this, and it was agreed upon by all board members that the board member-elects would be present during our executive sessions.
Do you know which policy it is?
Yeah, it is in the policy.
No, I just asked.
I don't remember
what
the
policy it was.
I could pull it up if you'd like,
I have-
but you have the policy.
I have orientation right here. So part of it, the orientation is new board members, the last sentence, that the new board members shall be invited to attend all meetings of the board and any board committee until sworn in. So it doesn't stipulate executive sessions. So,
May I see that, what you have printed out?
sure. It's just,
And are all board members in agreeance with that,
I'm going by advice
Move on.
from council. Council sent an email specifically stating that allowing people that are, because attorney-client privilege is granted to the board as an entity, not as us as individuals. And by allowing people into executive session that are not covered under attorney-client privilege, effectively waives attorney-client privilege.
As
for
well
that
as
meeting.
the superintendent, and sometimes when there are other staff members that are
They are,
included in executive
they are
sessions.
part of the entity of the school district.
And so this policy does not state that if there's an attorney present, then they would not be invited. So
Well, no,
according to our
so-
policy, they would still be invited and allowed to attend executive session. And I think that it would benefit, I believe that it would benefit the district to have them in the executive session, because they will be involved with this come later. Unless the plan is to just,
No, I don't disagree
Close
with you that they
everything
need
out.
to understand, they need to know what's going on. I totally agree with
I
that.
do.
I'm just going by the advice of the council, which was not to do it.
Right. So-
And since I don't have a Juris Doctor, I'm not gonna question the attorney on her reasonings as to why.
well, it's not about questioning her reasoning.
It
It's
is.
making the decision because you were elected to make the decision. She was hired by the
So we're making the
board
decision.
to give us that legal counsel. However, we were elected by the taxpayers, by parents of the
I
district,
understand that.
to make these decisions. So it is still our decision to make.
Right.
I understand that.
And we're making it. So,
That's fair, if that's your decision.
well, that's what you wanted. You wanted to make a decision, so we're going to.
Well, I just believe that it would
So-
benefit the district and the students of the district
Okay.
to have them participate, or, excuse me, in attendance.
Heard. Very good. Ms. Kribic, anything?
I do not know if I hear that.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
What was
She
the
said she's ready
question?
to vote.
What we're voting
roll
on,
call.
sorry,
Your roll call.
Mr. Bob, what we're voting on now is just amending the
Amending the
resolution. We're not
resolution, right.
actually voting on
Right.
Right,
what the issue is.
exactly.
Right.
We're voting whether to put the amendment on or not.
To go into executive session. What are we voting
We're voting on the motion to put the amendment on, so
The amendment that would,
eventually.
for clarification, the amendment is to allow only active board members. So a vote in the affirmative would be that we're going to put that amendment on, and then there'll be a vote on
Then
that
there'll be another
one.
vote, right?
And to violate our own policy once again in the
So
public.
you've spoken already, so let's move on, and roll call, please, Mr. Nucio.
Mr. Vaughn.
Yes.
Mr. Ruda.
Yes.
Ms. Cohar.
Yes.
Ms. Krippik.
Yes.
Ms. McTaggart.
No.
Okay.
That will be resolution 2025-11-507.1.
So the motion has. All right, so the motion is approved to put on that number, which is 2025.
-11-507.
507. All right, thank you.
Mr. Vaughn, thank you for allowing me to look at that.
You're most welcome.
Appreciate it.
No problem. All right. Back here. So I move to adopt the resolution 2025-11-492 to approval of the meeting agenda.
Second.
We have a second and a motion to adopt the resolution 2025-11-492. Any questions or comments from the board? Roll call, please.
Mr. Vaughn.
Yes.
Mr. Ruda.
Yes.
Ms. Cohar.
Yes.
Ms. Krippik.
Yes.
Ms. McTaggart.
Yes.
Resolution 2025-11-492 has been approved. Brings us to business of the board. I move to adopt resolution 2025-11-493, approval of the Board of Education Board Members Handbook.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt resolution 2025-11-493. Are there any questions or comments from the board?
I have some comments.
Absolutely.
I disagree with all of the time that we have spent over this last month or so on this board members handbook. It just seems unproductive when we have 3 new members that will be the majority of the board coming on. It doesn't seem it doesn't seem right to develop a board handbook right before 3 new board members come on. So,
We developed it starting in July, and worked on it continuously for a couple months. I think we had 2 meetings after the July meeting to initiate it. I asked several times for corrections and comments during our meetings, and all were received and were corrected, so the handbook is corrected. We all agreed at the time that this is a very prudent thing. We still have a couple meetings to go, so I don't think it hurts to adopt the handbook. The new board can obviously take a look at the handbook and either agree with it or throw it out, and you can start a new one. That's going to be entirely up to the new board. But for right now, I think we have an obligation to the members who are sitting here to adopt the handbook.
I only wish that handbook would have been produced much earlier.
Thank you.
And I feel this handbook it's a good thing for any new members, whether they come on from being elected or being appointed because of somebody leaving, because it's basically just giving you everything that ORC and all that says into a nice little place where you can kind of reference it as to what is it like to be a board member.
And what to expect, right?
Yeah, and what to expect. It's pretty much taken from all the other districts around here, or it's mirrors almost everyone that every other district has. It's nothing really
Yeah. Earth-shattering.
too earth-shattering.
Anybody else? Questions? Comments? Okay, roll call, please.
Mr. Vaughn.
Yes.
Mr. Ruda.
Yes.
Ms. Cohart.
Yes.
Ms. Kerber.
Yes.
Mrs. McTaggart.
No.
Resolution 2025-01-493 has been approved. Information to the board, Dr. Hunt.
Yep, just a few items, thank you. Again, just to kind of reiterate what you shared initially, Mr. Vaughn, although issue 49 was defeated, I'd like to thank the levy committee for their time and dedication to the campaign. We had 2 outstanding co-chairs, Jackie Marconi, Samantha Andexler, who proved to be outstanding leaders. Certainly want to make sure I include PEA, all of our OPSI sections that served as volunteers, administrators, board members, as we continued to highlight the value that Parma City Schools brings to our 3 communities, to our parents and our students. So thank you for the effort. Just want to let you know that this Saturday I'll be attending the Parma Senior High induction ceremony held at the Woodside Event Center. I'm looking forward to engaging with some of our PHS alumni and families. And finally, I just want to make sure that I mention that next week on the 11th is Veterans Day. Actually, I'll be at Valley Forge on the 10th attending a Vietnam veteran discussion held by one of our former teachers, Terry Want. Will be speaking, and just want to make sure that I thank all of our veterans, everyone who served our great country. Appreciate everything that you do. That's all I have.
Thank you, sir. Communications, board members?
I have some. And I apologize, it's so much tonight, I really do. There was a letter that went out district-wide that
It's not the time, I don't think.
it is the time because this is for board members.
Okay.
And each board member's name was on that letter, as if each board member endorses that letter. And I just want it to be very clear that I do not endorse the content of that letter, and I did not give anyone's permission to put my name on such letter.
Oh, well, that's a letterhead, so your name goes on a letterhead. That's
So
just
do
part
you
of-
feel, you think that I, as an
But your name on there
elected,
doesn't mean that you agree with anything written on it, it's just a simply letterhead.
you cannot you cannot
You
take
didn't sign
someone's
that.
name on letterhead and put it to a letter with such content, and as it's implying that that individual endorses its content. I would,
I didn't see that.
I would like my name removed from that letter and a statement put out. And also, please remove my name from that letterhead.
You're on the board, so you go on the letterhead.
We could go
No,
in,
that's very
I mean, I
no, that's
could.
really unusual, but that.
It
I
is
mean, that's
not
a-
unusual. This
No,
is the
I'm-
first time that something like that has actually ever happened. Dr.
About right.
Smilak, the previous superintendent, did not put our names to letters we had no involvement with. We weren't asked to provide feedback on the content of that letter. Therefore, my name should not be signed at the bottom of it.
I just got a letter from.
That's
the-
okay,
From
Mark.
the
I want
school
my-
here,
it-
and it has all our names on it. Were you aware of what Mr.
No, so
Gacka
it should
said?
be taken off.
No, because it's
It should
it's
be taken
letterhead.
off.
It's
No,
letterhead.
that is incorrect.
It's not incorrect, it's
It
just
is
letterhead.
incorrect.
It's district letterhead.
Okay, well, thank
You
you
should
very
be
much. for
asking the
looking into it.
president to speak, so we don't have a free-for-all.
No, it is supposed to be a free-for-all. It's a board meeting. Each board member has the opportunity to speak.
We are supposed to observe Robert's rules of order.
Oh,
Right.
I understand that. and
Let's try to do
this
that.
is-
Okay, all right, so thank you, thank you. I can at least look into that and discuss it. All right, anything else in there? Communications, treasurer?
Yeah, I do. We have, we received a refund from Cuyahoga County in the amount of $1.4 million. You probably saw it in Cleveland.com. What it was is the county withheld money from our property taxes so they could do a reevaluation on properties. They have to evaluate every property in the county, and so they took out more money than they expected to have to. So they gave us a refund of $1.4 million, which is a one-time thing. I didn't expect it, I didn't budget for it, they just refunded it to us and all the villages and townships. $1.4 million is good, but my plan is to use it for future expenditures, not to spend it all now, because it's not like a tax return where you get this huge money. This is a one-time thing, so I did want to just mention that. Any questions on that?
No. Thank you. At this point, we're open the meeting to the public to address tonight's agenda items. Do we have anything from tonight's agenda items? Okay. So I move to adopt resolution. Do we have amendments? We already did that. We already did that one, so that comes later, right? All right, so that brings us to business.
I move to adopt Resolution 2025-11-495, authorizing Byersfield sinkhole drain repair.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt resolution 2025-11-495. Any questions or comments from the board? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Mr. Ruda.
Yes.
Mrs. McTaggart.
Yes.
Ms. Cohar.
Yes.
Ms. Kerpen.
Yes.
Mr. Vaughn.
Yes, resolution 2025-11-495 has been approved.
I move to adopt Resolution 2025-11-496, authorizing Transportation Center bathroom water leakage repair at Byersfield.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt resolution 2025-11-496. Any questions or comments from the board? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Mr. Ruda.
Yes.
Mrs. McTaggart.
Yes.
Ms. Cohar.
Yes.
Ms. Kerpen.
Yes.
Mr. Vaughn.
Yes, resolution 2025-11-496 has been approved.
Excuse me. I move to adopt Resolution 2025-11-497, authorizing offering advertising sponsorship for district athletic programs.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt resolution 2025-11-497. Any questions or comments from the board?
I do.
Certainly.
I just want to say that I appreciate our business committee meetings, and I appreciate Mr. Greg Pollock for providing the business committee meeting minutes, and also Amy, what's Amy's last name? She's
Popick.
Cruz or Ms. Poppett?
Popick. I appreciate both of you providing the information that we need, and pictures of the advertisement, so that we can ensure that it isn't adversarial in any way. So thank you.
Thank you. All right, roll call, please.
Mr. Ruda.
Yes.
Ms. McTaggart.
Yes.
Ms. Cohar.
Yes.
Ms. Kerpen.
Yes.
Mr. Vaughn.
Yes, resolution 2025-11-497 has been approved.
Unless a board member has something to discuss, this will conclude business.
Thank you, Mr. Ruda. Brings us to curriculum, Ms. Perfect.
I move to adopt resolution 2025-11-498. granting authority to the administration to enter into a 3-year contract with the family during the 2025-2028 school years.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt Resolution 2025-11-498. Any questions or comments from the board? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Ms. Gerbeck?
Yes.
Ms. Cohar?
Yes.
Ms. McTaggart?
Yes.
Mr. Ruda?
Yes.
Mr. Vaughn?
Yes, Resolution 2025-11-498 has been approved.
I move to adopt Resolution 2025-11-499, approval of agreement between Avalon Center for Student Success and the Parma City School District.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt Resolution 2025-11-499. Any questions or comments from the board? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Ms. Gerbeck?
Yes.
Ms. Cohar?
Yes.
Ms. McTaggart?
Yes.
Mr. Ruda?
Yes.
Mr. Vaughn?
Yes, Resolution 2025-11-499 has been approved.
Unless another board member has anything to discuss, this concludes curriculum.
Thank you, Ms. Gerbeck. This brings us to finance.
I move to adopt Resolution 2025-11-500, supplemental appropriations.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt Resolution 2025-11-500. Any questions or comments from the board? Seeing none, Mr. Nucio.
Ms. Cohar?
Yes.
Ms. McTaggart?
Yes.
Ms. Gerbeck?
Yes.
Mr. Ruda?
Yes.
Mr. Vaughn?
Yes, Resolution 2025-11-500 has been approved.
I move to adopt Resolution 2025-11-501, authorization to accept the activity purpose statement.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt Resolution 2025-11-501. Any questions or comments from the board? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Ms. Cohar?
Yes.
Mrs. McTaggart?
Yes.
Ms. Gerbeck?
Yes.
Mr. Ruda?
Yes.
Mr. Vaughn?
Yes, Resolution 2025-01-501 has been approved.
I move to adopt Resolution 2025-11-502, authorization to accept the activity purpose statement.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt Resolution 2025-11-502. Any questions or comments from the board? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Ms. Cohar?
Yes.
Ms. McTaggart?
Yes.
Ms. Gerbeck?
Yes.
Mr. Ruda?
Yes.
Mr. Vaughn?
Yes, Resolution 2025-11-502 has been approved.
Unless another board member has anything else to discuss, that will conclude finance.
Thank you, Mrs. O'Hara. This brings us to Human Resources. Ms. McTaggart.
I move to adopt Resolution 2025-11-503, approval of the following certificated exhibits: confirmation of certificated appointments, confirmation of supplemental appointments, approval of certificated non-compensated leaves of absence.
Second?
We have a motion and a second to adopt Resolution 2025-11-503. Any questions or comments from the board? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Ms. McTaggart?
Yes.
Ms. Gerbeck?
Yes.
Ms. Cohar?
Yes.
Mr. Ruda?
Yes.
Mr. Vaughn?
Yes, Resolution 2025-11-503 has been approved.
I move to adopt Resolution 2025-11-504, acceptance of certificated retirements.
Second?
We have a motion and a second to adopt Resolution 2025-11-504. Any questions or comments from the board? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Ms. McTaggart?
Yes.
Ms. Gerbeck?
Yes.
Ms. Cohar?
Yes.
Mr. Ruda?
Yes.
Mr. Vaughn?
Yes, Resolution 2025-11-504 has been approved. And congratulations to those 7 people. I'm sure they're excited.
I move to adopt Resolution 2025-11-505, approval of the following classified exhibits: confirmation of classified appointments, confirmation of classified replacements, confirmation of classified changes, acceptance of classified resignations, approval of classified non-compensated leaves of absences, confirmation of classified administrative appointments.
Second?
Excuse me, we have a motion and a second to adopt Resolution 2025-11-505. Any questions or comments from the board? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Ms. McTaggart?
Yes.
Ms. Gerbeck?
Yes.
Ms. Cohar?
Yes.
Mr. Ruda?
Yes.
Mr. Vaughn?
Yes, Resolution 2025-11-505 has been approved.
I move to adopt Resolution 2025-11-506, authorization to release from employment during probationary period, classified employees.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt resolution 2025-11-506. Any questions or comments from the board? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Ms. McTaggart?
Yes.
Ms. Griffith?
Yes.
Ms. Cohart?
Yes.
Mr. Ruda?
Yes.
Mr. Vaughn?
Yes, resolution 2025-11-506 has been approved.
Unless another member has anything to discuss, that concludes human resources.
Thank you, Ms. McTaggart. Which brings us to policies, Ms. Cohar.
I move to adopt Resolution 2025-11-507, approval of following revised policies. Policy 2266, non-discrimination on the basis of sex in education programs or activities. Policy 3130, assignment and transfer. Policy 5130, withdrawal from school. Policy 5136, personal communication devices. Policy 5200, attendance. Policy 5410, promotion, academic, acceleration, placement, and retention. Policy 6830, audit. Policy 7540.01, web accessibility, content, apps, and services.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt resolution 2025-11-507. Any questions or comments from the board?
I do. So is this the final reading then? That we're,
Yep. Approval of the following revised policies. Yes.
okay, and so the last meeting,
They're not highlighted.
they're not. I feel like that's
These are
very
new.
beneficial for
These
the
are
community
these are
members
new
as well as us.
Yeah, they should have been
I'm sorry.
highlighted probably last week.
Well, they're not highlighted in the agenda. It just, I think that it,
Is that highlighted in the portion that you work on? They're just crossed out? Okay. Can we talk to whoever does that, get it highlighted maybe? Please, thank you. All right, thank you.
thank you, I appreciate it. I think that everyone would be grateful for that. It's helpful.
Roll call, please.
Ms. Cohart?
Yes.
Ms. Griffith?
Yes.
Ms. McTaggart?
Yes.
Mr. Ruda?
Yes.
Mr. Vaughn?
Yes, resolution 2025-11-507 has been approved. So, I move to adopt resolution 2025-11-5,
Oh, yeah, sorry.
what's that?
Should I, that concludes
Oh, I'm sorry.
policies. Sorry.
And you actually remember, I usually remind you.
Thank you.
Yeah, okay. Well, thank you, Ashley. Okay, so I move to adopt resolution 2025-11-507.1. To, I forgot what it is, the wording. I catch the wording. Sorry, excuse my fumbleness. To move the agenda to allow, to permit only current active board members in executive session with board council today.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt resolution 2025-11-507-.1. Any questions or comments from the board? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Mr. Vaughn?
Yes.
Mr. Ruda?
Yes.
Ms. Cohart?
Yes.
Ms. Griffith?
Yes.
Ms. McTaggart?
No.
Okay, resolution 2025.11.507.1 has been approved. So this brings us to public participation. At this point, we open the meeting to the public to address the board with comments or concerns. If we have any requests, I do have a handful here. They are numbered and will be in order. Requests to be heard forms should be completed and submitted in person to the administrative secretary. All statements shall be directed to the board president. As per policy 0169.1, comments that are repetitive, obscene, disparaging, abusive, irrelevant, and/or comments that constitute a threat will not be tolerated, and the speaker will be asked to stop speaking or to leave the meeting. Please note that various board policies exist which set forth processes and procedures to be used in investigating and addressing personnel issues that cannot be addressed in public. As per board policies, we may not be able to respond directly or address some of the issues at this time if information is not readily available. We will respond at our next regular meeting. 3 minutes is allowed per speaker. And before that happens, I have a statement to make, because I think this statement pertains to a lot of the stuff I just looked at. So I'd like to take a moment to address the community about concerns and correct any misinformation or misunderstanding that people have involving the situation with a middle school teacher at Greenbrier. We retained an outside investigator, and we received that report in August this year. The report did not substantiate a violation of district policy that addresses harassment and conduct of a sexual nature. That does not mean that our concerns about this matter are over. The investigator found evidence of unprofessional and inappropriate conduct exhibited by that teacher. That's very concerning, and that's why our internal review continues and why he remains on leave. It is also why we reported, he was reported to his capacity as a licensed teacher to the Ohio State Board Office of Professional Conduct. This report was made in August after receiving and reviewing the investigative report. We also are reviewing how a student complaint was handled, including when reports or allegations were received and how those reports were addressed. We are reviewing every one of our protocols and procedures when a student complains of harassment or discussing supports for students who report. Nothing is more challenging for a school district than responding to reports that someone is charged with teaching and caring for students that may have done something inappropriate. Nothing more is important. We continue to take this matter extremely seriously because the safety and the well-being of our students is paramount. Thank you. Now, we have Ms. Farson. Remember to state your name, your address, and your city, please.
My name is Vicki Farson. My address is 7765 Arbor Drive, Parma, Ohio 44130. I'm here tonight not because my own child was directly harmed, but because I once made a promise to God that I would stand up for women and children who cannot always stand up for themselves. I never imagined that promise would lead me here to my own children's school, pleading with the very people responsible for their safety. We cannot pretend the situation is small or exaggerated. The National Sexual Violence Resource Center reports that 56% of girls and 40% of boys experience sexual harassment in school. More than half of our daughters, almost half of our sons. So when 3 brave girls in this district step forward to say, "This happened to me," we should be thanking them, supporting them, protecting them. Instead, one of their reports wasn't filed for 3 weeks, even though the law requires it to be reported immediately. Instead, one of those girls was so distraught she could not return to school in person. She finished the year online to feel safe. That alone should break your heart. Your own investigation shows that the accused teacher admitted to pulling girls' ponytails and tapping them on the head repeatedly, and only girls. That is physical contact. That is gender-based targeting, and it went on for years. I would like to add that since he admitted to that, it is not hard to believe a girl when she states an escalation occurred. Also, it is not uncommon for a perpetrator to escalate behaviors to test how far they can take things, and they are often careful to avoid witnesses during these escalations. Would you tell a rape victim she was not raped because no one witnessed it? Yet somehow this district decided it doesn't meet the definition of sexual harassment under your policy, Policy 5517, even though that policy plainly prohibits unwelcome and inappropriate touching, conduct that creates humiliation or discomfort, boundary invasion into a student's personal space, behavior that interferes with a student's ability to learn. Every one of those conditions was met. Every one. How does a girl being driven out of school, unable to learn without fear, not count as severe? How does behavior repeated over multiple years not count as pervasive and persistent? These girls were harmed, and they were not protected. Tonight I am asking you, begging you, to do what should have been done months ago. Reopen this case and apply Policy 5517 as it is written. Reevaluate whether this teacher should remain employed in this district and allowed to remain a teacher. Review whether mandatory reporting laws were broken and hold those responsible accountable. They were not followed. I can guarantee you, I'm a mandated reporter. show this community that our children's safety matters more than convenience, more than protecting adults, more than avoiding conflict. Your policy says the district will vigorously enforce protections against harassment, but right now, from the outside, it looks like you're vigorously avoiding them. We parents trust you with the most precious part of our lives. We
Ms. Farson.
believe that when our children walk into school, they
Ms.
will be
Farson, are you
safe.
almost finished? You almost finished? It's like 30 seconds.
What?
Are you almost finished?
Yes.
Okay.
We believe they will be safe, not targeted, not minimized, not brushed aside. Please let the girls know they are heard. Show them that their courage made a difference. Let them see the adults choose what's right. Our children deserve nothing less.
Thank you. Thank you for coming. Ainsley Kuntz, is that right? Did I say that right?
Yeah.
Good evening, members of the board. My name is Ainsley Coons. I live at 9934 Independence Boulevard, Parma, Ohio. I would like to share my personal experience with a staff member at Greenbrier. While my experience was not sexual in nature, it was inappropriate and sexist. One morning, I was walking through the building with a few of my friends, as I routinely did. We made a brief stop in the health teacher's room to see what they were doing. The windows were open and the heater was on, so we asked why both were running at the same time. He responded saying, "A woman is subbing in my room today, and women don't know what they want." My friends and I were taken aback. The comment was unprofessional, disrespectful, and clearly sexist. I'm a girls wrestler, and this will be my third year wrestling in the sport. I wrestled in middle school and have remained committed to the program. Because I had previously conditioned with the boys team during the earlier season, I approached the boys coach to ask whether myself and another girl, could join the conditioning this year. The coach told me that the decision would be up to the athletic director, the same health teacher that made the sexist comment previously mentioned. When I asked him for permission, I was told no. I asked for an explanation, and the comment he made to me was that girls should not be wrestling with boys, and that girls wrestling was not considered a real sport. This was now the second inappropriate remark I had personally heard from this teacher, so I decided to reach out to the principal of Greenbrier. I sent an email explaining what had been said and why I was concerned. My email was ignored until my mother reached out as well. Even then, there appeared to be no interest, no concern, and no meaningful follow-up, despite the fact this teacher had made degrading and discouraging comments to a student. I find it extremely troubling that such comments can be made openly to students, and that a building administrator showed no urgency or care in addressing the issue. Students deserve to be treated with respect. We deserve to feel valued in our school, and when we report concerns, we deserve to be taken seriously. Thank you for taking the time to consider my experience.
Thank you. Thank you, that was very brave. Hillary Jackson. Or to state your address and city where you live.
6955 Arlington Street in Brecksville. Good evening. My name is Hillary Jackson, Chair of Moms for Liberty Cuyahoga. We are here to educate and empower parents because we believe informed, courageous parents are the foundation of a safe and free society. I'm speaking tonight because two mothers came before this board in April raising concerns about a teacher's inappropriate conduct. What followed was disgraceful and unconstitutional. When these mothers asked questions about the mandatory reporting process, they were silenced and accused of playing games. Since then, I've met with multiple mothers of victims, and I've seen the heartbreak and the fear they experienced. But your delays gave me time to help them reclaim their voices. Now we know the truth. A health teacher's inappropriate behavior spanned years, confirmed by numerous women and his own admissions. Originally a gym teacher, he displayed inappropriate behavior in gym class and in the locker rooms, but instead of investigating, the district reassigned him to health teacher, a move that did nothing to stop the complaints. Complaints were made to the principal and the dean, yet they failed to report the issues as required by law. As a result, a child was suspended, accused of lying, and traumatized, while the teacher was put on paid leave. We are calling for the immediate resignation of that teacher, the Greenbrier principal, the dean, and the board president. Your negligence and your failure to protect students has destroyed the public's trust in you. The board hired an investigator to investigate themselves. And unsurprisingly, it found no sexual harassment, only inappropriate conduct. If that doesn't violate your policies, then your policies need serious revision. Former super, in a text exchange with the principal, referred to concerned parents and students as effers, with this guy being guilty of only juvenile humor. I dare any of you to look that mother in the eye whose child was on suicide watch and call her an effer, and say that those comments were only juvenile humor. A recent report shows how public school employees who abuse children often go unpunished, pass from district to district. This teacher is still on paid leave, paid by the very taxpayers he betrayed. Which side of this issue do you want to be on? Is it going to stop here with you? Or are you going to play a role in enabling predators? All of us, all of this, the cover-ups, the failures, the silencing of parents, the superintendent issuing a tone-deaf letter downplaying the teacher's actions and then asking for a levy. That letter lacked empathy and insulted this community. The failure to act here isn't just about one teacher. It's about the systemic failure to protect children. The fact that these incidents were allowed to fester and covered up for years is a tragedy. It sends a clear message that some adults in this district are more concerned with self-preservation than the safety and well-being of the children they were sworn to protect. There is nothing more powerful than a mother, I'm almost finished, than a mother determined to protect her child. So I ask everyone in this room, administrators, board members, teachers, do you vow to put our children first from now on? Because if you don't, we will. Thank you.
Mr. Kuzma. Remember to state your address, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. Kevin Kuzma, 3160 Hetzel Drive, Parma, Ohio, Parma City Councilman, former Board of Education member. 8 years ago, I was sitting behind that table where you guys are right now, and I did not win my re-election. There were 3 board members in the audience who did. Mr. Vaughn, you were one of them. And you and we, my board at that time, continued a long-standing practice and policy of the district to allow the incoming board members to attend our executive sessions. We continued that practice. 3 board members this year elected to not run. 3 new board members elected to run and will be coming in. I'm a little confused and perplexed why this long-standing tradition is not happening anymore. Your attorney works for you, and the board can choose to let anyone in they choose to in the executive sessions. Correct. The long-standing practice of them coming in. Mr. Vaughn, you came at some very sensitive times when we talked about some topics in executive sessions. I know you understand very well.
Were attorneys present?
No.
So
Were they present?
I'm using
Were
my
they
time
attending?
right now, Mr. Vaughn, to address
Will you
the
start
chair.
the time?
So then,
So.
So as I'd like to continue.
To answer her question, that's blurted out. The attorneys were not present. So go ahead, you start his time, please.
Thank you. So as the voters voted for 3 new board members, and they voted down the levy that I had talked about in support and gave my support for you guys for, they had given a decision that they don't like the direction the current board is going. I'm a little confused with the practice of allowing the new board members to come in and why this group is being denied that when we afforded it to you. My question is why?
So, don't really have an answer why, except that our attorney advises not to have them
And he
come
works
in.
for you, though.
Listen, I understand that, but it's also a very sensitive topic, and we have some stuff to discuss and a new thing, and it's.
But don't
They-
you think
yes,
the
they
3
will-
of
they-
them should be informed?
I'll let you speak. Let me speak. So they will be apprised of what's going on if this should continue into January. Once they get on the board, Phil, you can stop shaking your head. So once they get on board, they will be apprised and brought up to speed. So their official start date is January 1st, and they have been in every meeting that we've had other than this executive session. So I'm going on the advice of our council. We're going to have a vote on it here in just a second, of whether then let them in or not. So thank you for your comments.
Thank you for letting me speak.
Ms. Sebastian?
Tammy Sebastian, 6814 Revere. So my question was going to be what the policy number was that you were voting on, or I'm sorry, the resolution number that you were voting on, but I did get that answered at the end. I just want to be clear, that was 2025-11-507, that was, that you guys voted on? Is that the right? Point one, okay. And so that was a new resolution that was based on a motion, is that correct? Can I have a copy of that?
There's not a copy at this moment. 'Cause they-
When it's
they come
available?
yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. So I move to adopt resolution 2025-11-508 to go into executive session. This, that's not the right stuff. Hang on a second.
I would like to say something.
Hold on, please. Okay, executive session of 2025-11-508, relative to personnel matters to consider the employment and discipline of a public employee, and to consider the investigation of charges or complaints against a public employee.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt resolution 2025-11-508. Are there any questions or comments from the board?
I have some.
Roll call, please.
I have some.
Oh, you had some?
Yes.
Late, sorry. Go ahead.
And it's not in regards to the executive session, unfortunately, I didn't have a moment to say something, but I wanted to say thank you for the ladies that came and spoke on behalf of the children and the families that are here. I know that's very difficult, and I think that we're all in this together. And I can only speak for myself, I can't speak for the entire board, but I am here for children. And I will do whatever I can and look into what the details that I'm given and request more to do everything that I can to find the truth and hold people accountable. So thank you.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Vaughn,
Yes.
Mr. Ruda,
Yes.
Ms. Moore,
Yes.
Ms. Purpose,
Yes.
Ms. McTaggart.
Yes.
Okay. Very resolved that the Board of Education, Parma City School District hereby adjourns the executive session at
6:48.
6:48 p.m. relative to the personnel matters to consider the employment and/or discipline of an employee and to consider the investigation of charges or complaints against a public employee. Note, Ohio law provides the school boards may meet in executive session to discuss legal issues, property issues, and personnel issues. Because of the confidential nature of these issues, this part of the meeting is closed to the general public and the matters to be discussed are not specifically listed on the agenda. No resolution will be voted on during the executive session. All voting must take place in open session. We are now in executive session. Thank you, everybody, for coming. Ladies, very brave of you. Thank you so much.